It is SummerSlam prediction time. We're going to be talking about the matches on night one in this part. We're starting with Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the women's championship. I feel like Tiffany time is up, unfortunately. I love both of them, absolutely, but I do think that in my opinion, they haven't really been putting as much effort into Tiffany lately, and I feel like her reign is coming to an end, and they're pulling the trigger on making Jade Cargill a main event star in WWE. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I would love to see Jade as champion, and Tiffany's reign is nothing to laugh at. You know, she's been champion for the better part of a year, over 200 days. I think that's amazing, especially considering she hasn't been on the main roster all that long. The only thing that I feel like could happen in terms of surprises during this match is possibly Nia Jax intervening, because we all know she still has beef with Tiffany. Less likely option is maybe Bianca coming back. I am a little bit on the fence. I've been wanting her to turn heel for a while, so her coming back to either cost Jade or just beat Jade up after the match is over if she wins, that would be crazy. But I don't feel like that's going to happen, and she's not clear to compete. So next, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Yes, that is the thing that I just had to say. I'm sure Logan Paul's going to try and cheat. If I had to guess, I feel like Randy and Jelly Roll are going to pick up the win. Very well could be Drew and Logan, because it's not like this is a high stakes match at all. Now we have the match between Gunther and Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the match that I thought that Seth Rollins was going to cash in on, because I thought, you know, Punk would win and he would cash in on him immediately and ruin the moment, or he would cash in during the match and make it a triple threat again like he did before. Obviously, that can't happen now. I do think that Punk is still going to take the win. The reason I think that is I feel like WWE won't take the briefcase off of Seth Rollins if he's going to be back in time to still cash it in before the year is up. If that's the case, then him cashing in on Punk and taking that from him is going to be like poetic justice to Seth Rollins. Even if that's not the plan, I do think Punk still wins. And we, for the first time ever, would see Gunther have a short title reign. Other than this current one, his shortest reign is 258 days. And that is not short at all. And I feel like that's really going to mess with him, because his ego took a hit when he tapped out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, especially that fast, and then to win a title back and lose it like not even a full 2 months later. He's gonna crash out again, which is fine by me, because I was actually enjoying Crash Out Gunther. Now let's talk about the women's tag team match between Raquel and Roxanne versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I feel like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are going to win these tag titles, and I feel like some BS is going to go down. I think it's fairly obvious that Finn wanted Roxanne in the Judgment Day to help destroy it from within the group, from the inside. And I feel like it's finally going to come to a head at SummerSlam, with possibly Roxanne purposely costing her and Raquel the tag titles, or they lose them honestly and she turns on her anyway. And that's going to be part one of Finn and Roxanne blowing up the Judgment Day. Now let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Y'all know that when Sami's involved, I want him to win. I always root for Sami, but if I think he's not going to, I admit it. And I do think there's a possibility that he doesn't win at SummerSlam. I actually think it's most likely what's going to happen, because people have been wanting Karrion Kross to get a push for a long time, and I feel like having him win at one of the biggest PLEs that WWE has in SummerSlam is going to give him the push that he needs. I would love to see it. Hate that it'd be at the cost of Sami Zayn, but that's okay. I really just wanted somebody to not fall for Karrion's mind games, and I do feel like Sami Zayn is that person. I don't think he's going to turn just because everybody Karrion messes with ends up turning. Somebody's not going to fall for it one day. It's not going to get to someone. Why not Sami? Do assume that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun and Bronson is going to be the main event of night one. I feel like there's going to be some BS that happens. So I posted a much more in-depth explanation of what I'm about to say already, but I think that there's a possibility that one of the Usos turns heel during this match. I think it's most likely going to be Jimmy coming out and costing Roman and Jey their match and making it clear that he is now rocking with Braun and Bronson and Heyman. He feels that he has gotten the short end of the stick for too long, and he simply wants to do something about it. And this is the way he decided to go about it. And I think that this would be the solo push that Jimmy would need. I think regardless, there's going to be some shenanigans that happen, and Braun and Bronson possibly take the win here. I don't know how this match is affected with Seth's absence, so we'll just have to see what happens, I guess. It is time to talk about SummerSlam Night 2. We are going to be starting off with the triple threat for the Women's World Championship between Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. I cannot wait to see it. In terms of who I think is winning, I am fairly certain that Naomi is going to be retaining. I don't think that it makes any sense or would be smart for them to have her cash in like that and have such a big moment just for her to drop the title 3 weeks later. She deserves better than that. I think that it is extremely likely that we're going to see the Green Regime, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Nikki Bella involved, because I do feel like they are building up for that Women's War Games match right now. Probably the Green Regime is going to come out, maybe try to help Naomi, and then Stephanie and Nikki are going to be having none of that, but Naomi's going to retain anyways. There is a very extremely unlikely chance that we see Bianca come back back maybe and try and cost Naomi. I don't think that's happening. Just wanted to throw it out there in case it does happen because I did think about it. Now we have the no disqualification, no count out, last chance match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Becky and Lyra. Before we even had all those stipulations, I figured that Bayley was going to be intervening to cost Lyra the match, and now that we have those stipulations, she's 100% intervening to cost Lyra that match. There's no disqualification, so she is free to come in there, do whatever she wants to Lyra, and nothing's going to change the fact that the match is still going on. And it's well within her right because Lyra cost Bayley her title match against Becky. So I fully expect Becky to walk out of SummerSlam still being champion because it is clear as day that Bayley and Lyra have forgotten that that is who they should be focused on because they both wanted the title so bad that it blinded them to the fact that Becky is the source of their problems. She's the reason Bayley got taken out of WrestleMania. She turned on Lyra. She took the title off of Lyra. Now we have the steel cage match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu for the WWE United States Championship. I know the steel cage is meant to keep Solo's allies out, but frankly, I don't think that that's going to stop them. I think they're going to figure out a way to make it work and help Solo retain that title. I would find it very weird if they took it off of him already. That's not to say that they wouldn't do that. They've done it before. People have had extremely short title reigns before. Don't know if anyone would help Jacob because the only person who might is Jimmy, and I've already said that I think that he's turning heel. The match between Dominic and AJ for that Intercontinental Championship is going to be nothing short of crazy because I absolutely expect Finn Balor to enact part 2 of blowing up the Judgment Day. I fully expect Finn to try to cost Dominic that title. However, Finn has been trying to cost Dominic that title for months under the guise that he was trying to help him. You could see how disappointed and upset he was when Dominic retained each time. It doesn't need the title for Finn and Dominic to have a good feud. It makes total sense without the title, so it can go either way. Since Finn hasn't held Solo's gold in a long time, I could see Dominic retaining just so Finn could beat him for the title later. The six-pack TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. I am so excited. It's going to be a banger of a match. That's literally all I can say. It doesn't need all these surprise returns or anything like that. It's going to be insane already. It's a six-pack TLC match. For some reason, I do feel like the Wyatt Six could retain, but if not them, I really would like to see it go to either Fraxium, Motor City, or the Street Profits. That's no disrespect to DIY Andrade and Rey Fenix. I'm not going to be upset no matter who wins, personally. Fairly certain the main event of SummerSlam as a whole is going to be Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think John's going to win. Absolutely, I think he's going to win. Is it going to be through heel tactics? Yes, he's a heel. That's what heels do. They do dirty things to win matches. Let's not act like Cody has a clean slate here. He has done heelish things to win matches as a face, so don't even go there. I still stand by the fact that I don't think John is losing that title until his last match. I really, really believe that. So, do you think The Rock is coming back? Is The Rock coming back? I don't think so, but now I'm a little bit less sure of that. WWE's relationship with Travis Scott has fallen out. If there were any plans for Travis Scott to be part of SummerSlam, that's not happening now. I don't know if they're going to make Rock do something, if they're going to have somebody else do something. I'm really disappointed that The Rock and Travis Scott have been such letdowns in this story because this is John's last run in the company forever. He's done after this year. For two people to be such a key part of his story to be such a disappointment really makes me upset because the last thing I want is for people to look back at Cena's last year and be like, this was such a letdown. It's John Cena. He deserves more than that. Something's got to give here.